several years ago, and a young man who is now a minister and a great preacher of the gospel. Then he was just a young teenage man, and he came to me after service, and he said, Pastor Chavis, I wasn't pastor then, he just said, Brother Chavis, he said, tonight, God gave me revelation. He said, ever since a friend of mine exposed me to pornography when I was 7. I was 7 years old, I was exposed to pornography. He said, my whole life I've been addicted to pornography. He said, and I will come to the altar, I will pray, I will cry, I will weep, I will say, God, save me from this thing. It's so addictive, I can't break the hold on it. He said, but tonight, he said, while you were teaching, he said, God spoke to me and said, it's not the pornography, it's the music. He said, he said, I'll be driving down the road and not even thinking about it. He said, but then it'll just enter my spirit, it'll come upon me. And he said, I just can't break away from it. He said, but tonight I started thinking about the music that I listened to throughout the day. He said, and the music is conjuring up emotions inside of me that I'm not licensed to fulfill those emotions. The words and the lyrics of the songs are conjuring up emotions in my spirit that I have no way to fulfill those emotions. The only way to fulfill those emotions is to go back to pornography. When the Lord gave me this concept, I was an adult. I was a minister in my church. I was a grown man. Music has always been a part of my life. I've always been musically inclined. My family's very musical. Been a singer since I was very young. Play piano, play guitar, play drums, play bass. I just come from a musical family. Always been involved in music. And because of that, I was just a musical person. If you were to get in my truck with me and drive with me to work, I used to work at an oil company. And this is around the time that God dealt with me on this subject. If you were to get my truck with me on a Monday and go to work with me, I would drive 3 to 4 hours a day in between my sites that I work for the oil company. You would get in and you could hear anything from Bach to Snoop Dogg in 1 4-hour day. I listened to it all. Country, Western, rap, R&B, mostly rap and R&B. But I love Chopin, Mozart. I went to college for music. All throughout my high school years, I was in the music program at my schools, won several awards, and was classically trained with my voice. I went to college. I was scholarshiped to go to college to sing with my voice. My voice is my instrument. I love music so much. I listen to everything. I mean, man, you could hear John P. Key and the next song would be Eminem. I mean, it was no middle of the road for me. It was just everything. All was welcome. My doors were just wide open. And driving down the road one day, I'm just listening to just garbage, you know, just filth. And I'm just enjoying myself, you know, like got my head bobbing. I'm just enjoying myself. You know what I'm doing? I'm worshiping. This is all worship. That's why when you go to a concert, the first thing to do is say, put your hands up. I feel like I'm in church. This feels awkwardly weird, you know, normal. Yeah, because we do that same thing in church because it's worship. That's why at a piano recital, people cry. Why are you crying? It's a piano recital. Because it's emotional. It's connection. The Lord spoke to me and he said, I'm jealous. That first voice, you know, that first voice, I'm jealous. Second voice, I'm hearing stuff. Third voice, that wasn't nothing. It's just, you're going crazy. But it was in a moment in my life when there was a shift coming in my world. And so I gave in to the first voice and I said, Lord, what are you jealous of? He said, I'm jealous of your time. You give so much time to this. All this time you're driving 3, 4 hours a day. You just let yourself be filled up with this stuff. It messes with your attitude. It messes with your spirit. It messes with your emotional conduct. So I started paying attention. I started listening and just listening. I turned off my musical mind and I said, let me just listen. So I started listening, like really listening to the concepts that the song was pushing into my spirit. I was appalled. I was appalled at the anger, the violence. Even when I started thinking about the country music, because I'm from America, and when you start talking about country music, man, people get up in arms. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You can't be talking about country music. That's God's music, George Strait is like next to Jesus. They call him Brother Garth Brooks. But I just said, listen to the lyrics. Listen to the lyrics. It's all about fornication and adultery. Every bit of it. Listen to the lyrics. It's all about woman leaving a man, man leaving a woman. It's all about depression and anxiety. And what's going to happen tomorrow and stress. Just listen to, what is it saying? Forget the music. Cut it off. What is it saying? And man, I was just appalled. I remember pulling off the side of the road and weeping, crying, God, what have I let into my life? What have I let into my world? This is unbelievable. Just being surprised at myself. So for weeks, I drove with nothing. No music, no radio, no anything. Just me and God. Just me and God. For 3 to 4 hours a day, just me and God. And if there was any music in my car, it came from me. And it was just worship and praise unto God. And me and God made a connection. And in that time, God began to speak to me about the concepts that I've preached to you tonight. When the lights began to come on in my mind, then I began to see, whoa, this is so connected as to what's going on in our youth groups, what's going on in our families, children with rebellion and spirits, and they can't even lift their hands in church, and they're angry and they're depressed. And I was connecting it to different people that I knew, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so connected. And God just began to open this door for me. And so now I have a filter in my life. If it doesn't edify me, and if it doesn't edify God, I don't listen to it. If I can't find something in it that is edifying to me, my life, or edifying to God, the Creator, it's not worth my time. It's not worth my time. I can't listen to it if it's too, I've even turned Christian music off in my vehicle. My kids are in there. Like turn it. This ain't even true what this guy's singing about right now. I just recently I was listening. My kids love Toby Mac, and Toby Mac made a song, and it's got Kirk Franklin in the song, and they were singing, and Kirk Franklin makes a comment. Being a Christian isn't about what you do. It's about who you are. And I turned it off. It's like, that's a lie. It's about everything. It's got everything to do with what you do. You will know them by their fruit. That's biblical. I know it sounds good. It rhymes. But that concept is wrong. That concept is off. It makes sense in the song, but biblically it's not right. What you do is who you are. You show me what you do and I'll show you who you are.